Where were you born and who was in your family?
When I was born in Little Blue Hospital in 1940, my family consisted of two older sisters and my mother and dad, my grandmother and grandfather on my dad's side, and my grandmother on my mother's side. And then there was Aunt Bessie and Aunt Anna, and I could keep on going on and on, but I don't want to bore anybody.
And what town was this in?
Little Blue town.
Yes, and then where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in a little town called Wellington, Missouri, and it was a little farm community with beautiful people. And every Saturday night, we could all come in and bring our instruments and play in this around the city square, and it was like the worst band in the world, but we had such a good time. And I could flirt with the boys, and I could play my clarinet, and it was a fun time. Sometimes I got out my baton, but when I whacked my sister on the head with it, my parents said no more with the baton, particularly in the house. You know.
And did you go to college?
I went to college at Warrensburg, and by the time I got to college, I liked to play the piano, so I incorporated that into my daily work pretty much.
And what year did you graduate?
I graduated in '62 from Warrensburg, and I earned the outstanding piano performance of that year, which was I had no idea that was happening, but
Do you remember what you played for your senior recital?
I cannot remember because I think I blanked it out, because you do that when you get under pressure with performance. But I played a lot for MoMA Musical, which is a Kansas City group of women who still play piano, pretty much classical piano. And I played for 2 or 3 of those groups before I had somebody who you probably know about called Janae.
Well, before you had your daughter, were you married?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's right.
That's kind of an important detail.
You think I would add that?
Well, people talk.
When you got married, when did you get married?
We got married on a very cold day in 1963. And after I had gone out I decided that the dress that Maureen had made me, John's mother, wonderful seamstress, she made me this dress. And I went, and so the night that we were married, or had our wedding, there was just, everybody came, it was so cold, it was just like, I had probably about 60 people who were able to come and be part of my ceremony. But yes, it was.
And you got married where?
Oh, in the Wellington Methodist Church where I grew up. That's my home church.
And where was your honeymoon?
We went to, I think, just up the road a little bit.
Abilene, Kansas.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went, and it was very cold. We didn't have, and nobody was there. It was in December, and nobody was there. I mean, it was really, if it had been summertime, it would have been, more
Different.
tourists and so
Right.
forth.
So then I was born, Janae was born in 67, and did you have a job?
Yes, I did. I had a job. Both John and I had jobs with Raytown, and so we got through that. But
And Dad, what did you teach?
what?
Dad was a teacher, weren't you in Raytown?
Yes,
What were you teaching?
6th grade.
And Mom, what were you teaching?
Music, actually, elementary music.
Did you guys work in the same school?
Yes, and well, actually not in the same school, but on the same way to school. We take Little Blue Parkway. Take Little Blue through the forest there.
She was at Northfleet and I was at Fleet Ridge, which is about 3/4 of a mile down the road.
So he would pick me up after school, and we'd zip on home.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good beginning.
Yeah.
It was, and so we did that until we decided to go to Harrisonville because John got a contract there, and
Dad became a principal.
yeah, and he didn't like it at all.
It's a very political position.
Yes.
And it just didn't work for us at all.
But who was born in Harrisonville?
Well, a little guy called Eric.
Was he actually little?
Oh, no. I say that facetiously. He was one of these children that was born. He was about 10 pounds.
10 pounds.
And when the
And you
nurse-
almost died.
Not
No.
quite. But when the nurse brought him into me, there was a big old baby on one side, and then they had a little preemie on mine. So we had this big baby of the preemie. People like to talk about that. The extreme difference between the two children born on the same night.
Yeah.
So, lots and lots of fun after that. I tell you, we all had to learn how to live together after babies come.
That's right. So
Yeah.
then we moved around for a while. We lived in Harrisonville. We went to Mercer. We went to Princeton, built a house in Princeton.
Yeah, we're very John, and he looks back on that now, and he thinks it was a mistake. But I think it was. It was so hard for
Oh,
us.
it's a privilege to be able to build your own house. That is not easy to do.
It's
Getting the
true.
property and building your own place,
And you
not
have to
easy.
pass all the different tests that
That's
they
right.
put through and so forth. So it's quite interesting. But it was a solid house, and Grandpa came
Mm-hmm.
up and helped us.
A lot.
And we had. I remember when the concrete guy came and poured the basement, and how much fun that was.
Yeah. And Eric and I used to roller skate on the basement floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know that was exciting for both of you. And
Yeah.
then the only trouble we had with building that house was that you had to be babysitter to Eric.
Which we could never find him. Could we? He was always gone,
probably
wasn't he?
still up there
Where's
somewhere.
Eric? Well, we worried because there was a pond in the back.
There was a pond in the back, and there was Highway what in front of the house.
Highway Y?
65.
Oh, 65,
Highway
yeah.
65 went and people would comment, "Did I see you on the roof with who? What were you doing on the roof?" You know,
Oh,
nobody
yeah,
believed
that's right.
that we could help each other out. You know, so
And then you left that place and we came down to South Missouri where you got a luxury mansion in Pleasant Hope, the nicest house in town. The big stone fireplace, remember that? Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful place.
it was a beautiful place. It was
Yeah.
our luxurious home.
That's when I learned to mow the lawn. Got a great big John Deere tractor because we had 3 acres in the back, remember?
Oh yeah,
I almost went flying off that thing because I came down the hill too fast.
we were all worried, but then we were so busy laughing.
You were laughing, I know. And then from there we came to Belton, and that's where basically we grew up, Eric and I both. We grew up
Yeah,
in
you
Belton.
really did it. Yeah.
Hmm
I remember substituting over at what was that?
Cambridge?
Yeah, what maybe.
Oh, no, the Hillcrest.
Yeah, I remember that, and they asked me if I would teach full time, and I said, I don't have a degree to do that. And they, well, we help you get the degree, and I thought I should have done that, maybe. But anyway,
That's when you had your piano studio. You had like 30 kids.
yeah, I had a bunch.
We had so many piano students coming in and out of there.
Yeah, it's true. It was an interesting learning experience for
And then
everybody.
the house burned.
Yep, the house burning. That was hard on you because you came home to a burnt, and you had
Yeah, I didn't know.
you had nothing of your own. Everything was done. It was just almost more than you could bear, I think.
And then we left Belton and we came to Lee Summit, which was the best move ever because you got a big shop out there, and that's where you guys really made your final homestead, right, in Lee Summit.
John and Emmett did a lot. That little patio that they built on was it was so cute too.
And you still had a big studio, about 20, 25 kids there finally, didn't you?
Yeah, and I tried to cram them all into a Christmas recital, which the parents loved.
That was
except
fun.
They couldn't breathe. I mean, it was
Well, you were at Glendale for 10 years. The day after the house burned, you got your job at Glendale.
I was there 11 years, but
11 years, yeah.
and I interviewed. I had to practically buy things. All my clothes were burned up, and I had to
You
buy
got
things
had,
off the rack at Walmart.
and that was the first and only Dodge product Dad bought you. He bought you a Dodge Caravan to go back and forth. Remember that?
Was
yeah.
that the one that we had
Yeah.
the accident on?
Yeah, you were traveling on February 14th. You were on the Grandview Road, driving home, and a guy in a little Chevette scooter, which is really a nothing car, came sliding across the center line and smacked her in the front window.
It was that's the first time I've ever realized what ice can do on the highway when you're trying to drive, because you have no control. I had no control over that.
Yeah, they totaled the Caravan and put a new door on the Chevette scooter, and went on from there.
And they were not going to be nice about the insurance.
No, they weren't going to be very nice. I said, well, my wife is a music teacher and she has to stand all day. And her knee smacks the dashboard. And that happened. He said, how much to settle today?
That was lucky. I mean, I didn't want to go through a whole rumor.
No,
anyway,
that would've
we
been a
got through
problem.
that. Yeah.
Yep, and Lee Summit, and now here you are.
And in the apartments, we're meeting some really wonderful
Yes,
people.
you're glad you moved to the apartment because you guys are making your way now. You got friends, and you're lucky enough to live through the pandemic.
Oh gosh, I hope so.
The pandemic.
I will always try to not breathe heavily around people, and I will for sure Well, for sure, I'll wash my hands. I'll be washing my hands until
Yeah.
the day I die, just because this forces you to learn that habit.
Now, tell us how many meds you're on. How many meds do you take every day?
I don't really take any meds.
That's right.
I
You
do
take.
have
So
one.
you say, I don't take any meds, and I'm 80 years old.
Yeah, well, that's true. I do try. I have a sciatic leg. That is to say, the big muscle in the left leg
Yeah.
is in pain a lot, and so my doctor gave me a pill to take one pill twice a day. I take
Yeah.
half a pill
Mm-hmm.
for the whole day. I don't take any more than that. And then,
Yeah.
but the other thing I take that's helped me is my vitamin regime, which I've
Yes.
taken.
You're a
for-
believer in vitamins.
In me, I do. Not all people respond that way, but the chemical makeup of this product works for me.
Yes, it does.
And that is, and it's been, I started taking that when I was about,
Well, I was in second grade when you almost choked to death on one of those giant ones in Grandma's kitchen.
I know,
I was trying to watch Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Green Jeans, and you're like,
oh, I know it. Yeah, it's
but you
awful.
finally got it down, and we went on to school.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I have survived so far.
You have survived. You're doing really good. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
You
Judy.
made it. Yay.